If you are on the fence between choosing the Insta360 X5 or DJI Osmo Pocket3, but you are worried about spending too much time reframing your shots, this episode is for you. Today we are diving deep into some underappreciated but powerful modes on the Insta360 X5. I'll show you how these features can help you shoot smarter and unlock creative shots without hours of editing. Plus, I will compare InstaFrame's tracking to DJI Pocket 3's gimbal tracking, and why you may want to rethink what the camera should do in 2025. Let's start with InstaFrame mode, one of my favorite features of the Insta360 X5 and also one of the most misunderstood. InstaFrame mode lets you automatically generate reframed edits from your 360 video, choosing the best angles, tracking subjects, and even adjusting for head turns or scene changes. You choose the subject yourself or someone else, and the software does the rest. As the output, you get automatically reframed MP4 video along with the 360 video file, which you might want to edit later. And compared to manual reframing, honestly, in 80% of my use cases, I didn't need to touch anything, because InstaFrame does everything for me. If you are still not convinced by Insta360 X5's InstaFrame mode, here are 5 reasons why it's a game changer for solo creators and action shots. First, you can frame your video from 4 different points of views: front, back, top and bottom. This means one shot can become multiple edits, perfect for storytelling or showing off both the subject and surrounding. Second, it supports portrait tracking. Even if you tilt the camera sideways or upside down, your subject stays perfectly centered and vertical. Great for reels, shorts and TikToks without manual adjustments. Third, log horizon is magical for activities like running or hiking. No matter how much your camera bounces or rotates, your footage stays perfectly level. Fourth, InstaFrame automatically dewarps the 360 view to look natural and cinematic. No weird bubbles or warping, just clean, wide visuals. And fifth, it even supports horizontal and vertical spinning effects. You can create awesome orbit-style edits or dramatic vertical spirals, all in post. InstaFrame isn't just a reframing tool, it's a creative superpower, especially when paired with auto-tracking and the X5's high-res footage. Now let's get into one of the most important comparisons: how InstaFrame's AI auto-tracking stacks up against DJI Osmo Pocket3's real-time with a physical gimbal. The Pocket 3 uses ActiveTrack 6.0, which is excellent for slow to medium movement, especially when you stay mostly in front of the lens. The gimbal follows your motion smoothly as long as you stay within its physical rotation range. But that's also its biggest limitation. The Pocket 3 has a mechanical gimbal, which means it can only rotate so far before it hits a hard limit. If you run in a full circle, spin around the camera, or move erratically, it can lose tracking or fail to keep up, especially in fast-paced shots or sudden turns. In contrast, Insta360 X5 doesn't have this limitation at all, because it records everything in 360 degrees. You can spin, jump, flip or even circle the camera, and Insta360 frame can still find and allow you after the fact with no loss or tracking. There is no gimbal angle to max out. The subject is always in frame, because the whole world is in the frame. In my test, I ran around the camera in a circle while waving just to see what would happen. The Pocket 3 gave up after I passed the certain degree mark. The X5 kept tracking me all the way through the spin, automatically, as if I had a drone orbiting around me. That's the power of full 360 capture with a smart auto-framing. And it means you can be more creative, move more naturally, and not worry about where the lens is pointing. Now let's talk about Me mode, the most underused feature by new X5 users. Me mode is designed to make you feel like you have got a personal drone camera, always focused on you, with zero editing required. The camera uses both lenses to crop out the selfie stick and keep the center point locked on you as you move. It's not 360, but it looks like it. You get an ultra-wide stabilized video that never loses a track, and you don't even need to reframe afterward. Just shoot, export and post. Perfect for travelers, vloggers or fitness content creators. It makes your solo footage look like you had a professional following you. And bonus, the rendering time is super fast, because it's already a 16:9 or 9:16 export. No 360 editing required. Next up, TimeShift mode, which takes the hassle out of speed ramping and stabilization. TimeShift captures video in 360 at a high resolution and allows you to adjust the playback speed from 1x to 60x and even dynamically changes the speed within one shot. I tested TimeShift in 8K 30fps across different speeds presets: Auto, 10x, 15x, 20, 30 and 60x. What I found was Auto works great for general motion like walking or car rides or running. 10x to 20x gives a nice hyper-travel feel, great for transitions or cinematic build-up. 30x and 60x work best in longer sequences, like moving through crowded areas or covering large distances quickly, like running marathons, etc. The footage is rock solid, thanks to flow state stabilization, and you don't get the warpiness or blur that happens when speeding up footage manually. I also tested traditional time-lapse mode, TimeShift and regular reframe 360 video that I sped up manually in a post. Time-lapse on the X5 looks great when the camera is not moving. Use it for sunset, for sunrise, traffic trails or stationary shots, but if you try running with it, the footage looks choppy and unstable, even with stabilization on. TimeShift, on the other hand, is built for motion. It keeps everything clean and fluid, even on 20x or 30x speed. I also compared manual reframing, then speeding up the clip, and honestly the results looks less clean than TimeShift. You end up with inconsistent framing, pacing, and some stabilization warping. So here is a takeaway: use time-lapse for still shots, use TimeShift for moving shots, avoid manually speeding up unless you really need custom transitions. By the way, did you know that Insta360 X5 can shoot time-lapse in 11K? Yes, real 11K resolution. And if you're wondering how this is even possible, let me explain. In time-lapse mode, the X5 isn't recording normal video. Instead, it captures ultra-high resolution still images at intervals using both of its powerful sensors. Then it stitches those images together into a video with a final resolution of up to 11,520 by 5,660 pixels. That's what gives us in the 11K name. So yes, this is true 11K. You are getting over 60 megapixels per frame, which is far beyond even 8K video. That means insane sharpness, more dynamic range, and massive freedom to crop, reframe, or zoom in without losing quality. Compared to the regular 8K time-lapse, the 11K mode gives you noticeably finer detail and more post-production flexibility, especially for landscape, architecture, or dramatic skies. If you want the most cinematic time-lapse footage possible from a 360 camera, the X5's 11K mode is simply unmatched. So if you are trying to decide between the Insta360 X5 and DJI Osmo Pocket3 and you are worried about the time investment in editing 360 video, I hope this showed you just how powerful and easy InstaFrame and Me mode really are. With features like AI auto-tracking, invisible selfie footage and built-in motion control, the X5 gives you pro-level results without the post-production stress. If this video was helpful for you, just leave the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and see you in the next one. Cheers. Bye.